It has recently been revealed by an NBA insider that New York Knicks superstar Jalen Brunson wants to sign a contract extension as soon as possible, and we have to talk about this. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video as we always do, because it has recently been revealed as of today that Jalen Brunson wants that extension, and he wants it soon. As Steve Popper recently said, that he's heard whispers that Jalen Brunson would be open to a discussion to doing an extension this summer. Now, this did involve Ian Begley, who everyone knows is the most tapped in of all New York Knicks reporters. So clearly there is truth to this rumor that Jalen Brunson wants to extend his contract with the Knicks. The man is not going anywhere. We thank the heavens will be keeping Jalen Brunson around, even with Julius Randle getting hurt in this Knicks season, kind of going from a year where we thought we could have made the Eastern Conference Finals and thought the NBA was kind of open to us, to it basically getting thrown right in the trash because Julius is out and the Knicks now are just down to Brunson as their sole shot creator. But look, it's all right because we don't just have this year. We have a lot of time to try to win an NBA championship in the Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle era. It wasn't now or never. This season was not now or never, and we know that we have time now because Brunson wants that extension, which is massive news. It's not too surprising. It's not like we were really afraid of Brunson leaving this team in free agency because he's wanted to come here. He's happy to be here, so... And also, he's broken out, become an NBA superstar here. But, if you look at the New York Knicks, they're a perfect team for him. They've built everything completely around him in the way that they want, and it has worked out and paid off for the Knicks exponentially. I think Brunson is going to stick around with the New York Knicks for the majority of his career. He gives the vibe of someone who does not want to frequently leave his team. I mean, he didn't want to leave Dallas, but they gave him no choice because their front office is terrible. Secretly, Mark Cuban's a terrible owner, but no one seems to understand that somehow. And through all this process, the Knicks lucked into an NBA MVP candidate, a man who has had the most impact on any free agency signing in the last 15 years outside of when KD went to the Warriors and when LeBron went to the Heat, to the Cavs, to the Lakers. Outside of that, there has been no one signing in free agency that has been as impactful as Jalen Brunson going to the Knicks. He's completely turned this franchise around, and he deserves all the credit in the world for it. As much as Julius Randle started this wave, Brunson kind of came in and changed everything in a way that Julius had started. So, I mean, we're looking at a team that has been built from the ground up, and Brunson's been the main part of it. So, yeah, I think we're good to know that he's going to stick around, but we do know that they're not going to have Julius for the rest of this year. It came out a few hours back that Julius Randle attempted to return to the Knicks, but just could not do it. Specialists advised him to not play, or it could cause further structural damage, affect him next season and for the rest of his life. And Julius is only 29. Look, if he was 36 years old, if this was the Knicks' last chance at a ring, I think Julius would go for it. But there's a bunch of time left. And we know one thing about Julius. He would play through any injury possible. He probably didn't care about further damage. I mean, Drew Brees, former NFL QB, he says he throws footballs with his left arm. Now, he was a righty his entire career because of the arthritis in his right shoulder, because he dislocated it and came back too quickly. I don't want Julius Randle's prime to get cut short because he just tried to come back from an injury too fast in a year that's already been lost by injuries. We lost Mitch. He came back for 2 games. We lost him again. We lost OG. He came back for 3 games, and we lost him again. It seems like OG and Mitch will be back before the playoffs or around the playoffs, which is one thing. But this season has just been full of injuries. We've been screwed over time and time again by it. It's unfortunate luck, but the Knicks are going to be back. They're going to be fine. Now, something to talk about when it comes to his contract extension is that Brunson, since he hit the 65 games, is eligible for all NBA honors, which he will certainly get, either first or second team, probably second team. He's eligible starting on July 12th to sign a 4-year, $156.5 million extension, but he's not eligible for the Supermax because he signed as a free agent with the Knicks. He did not get drafted here, and that is what differs with Supermax contracts. So first of all, it's a bargain deal for the Knicks. That's a little bit over $40 million per year, which is a massive, massive, massive undervalue of what Jalen Brunson actually does for this team. I mean, without Brunson, and this is counting if Julius Randle were here, the Knicks would be floating around that 8th seed at best, because the bottom of the Eastern Conference isn't good. They'd still be better than the Nets because the Nets are brutal and every team worse than the Nets. The reason I'm thinking of the Nets is, one, because they're also in New York, and I live in New York, and I'm a Knicks fan, but also because the Brooklyn Nets did just get eliminated from the playoffs the other day. You guys thought you had something when you signed KD. Sucks to be a Nets fan. Yeah, sucks still. Even worse than being a Knicks fan, even though we just lost Julius. Why? Because you guys, your best player, he just wants to be on the Knicks anyway. Yeah, he does. But look, Chris Van Ginkel from Twitter, who actually does know NBA cap, despite the fact that you probably never heard of him, he said that he's projecting that with the cap, if Brunson waits to sign an extension the following season, he'd get an insane more amount of money. It would be such a crazy increase. I don't see why he wouldn't do it. Basically, his first season, he'd get $46.5 million, and by the end of his contract in year 5, he'd be getting $63 million. Now, this is based on cap projections, and he'll be allowed to get 30% of the cap and an 8% raise every season thereafter. And also, he did mention when someone asked why he wouldn't just wait, the response was maybe he wants to win, maybe he's fine with taking a pay cut. His dad played for the NBA, their family has money as it is. I'm not saying that it's likely. If I'm Jalen Brunson, I don't care how much money I have. Guess what? I'm taking the money. Especially because he's earned every cent of that massive contract. So, you know what? Brunson should go out there and take that money. But if he wants to sign an extension with the Knicks this summer, lose out on a ton of money, I mean, it's just another reason why he has fully embodied the Knicks and why he is going to go down as one of the greatest Knicks to ever play. He has potential to be the greatest Knick who's ever played. I think it really only takes one championship because we've never won a championship in the three-point era of basketball. That's exactly true also. If you thought the Knicks ever won a championship when there was a three-point line, think again. Three-point line came in 1979. New York Knicks, last championship was 1973, as you know. So things have not been great here, and that continues to be the case outside of this man right here is putting up 28 points per game, 6.5 assists, also grabbing nearly 4 rebounds while shooting 40% from 3, 47.5% from the field with a PER of 22.5. The man is elite. He is a superstar in every sense of the word. He is a top 3 point guard in the NBA, and I am counting Luka as a point guard here. If you don't want to count Luka as a point guard, then he is the second. I'm not putting him over Shea. Shay's the MVP in my mind, but Brunson is right there after him, and I think it's unreal that the Knicks have gotten him like this, and they have to do whatever it takes to extend him. I don't care how much money you have to pay him. I don't care anything about that. It doesn't matter. With Jalen Brunson, it genuinely doesn't matter what he asks for. He could ask the Knicks for whatever the hell he wants. I mean anything. If he said, I'll only return to the Knicks if you guys if James Dolan himself will completely fund my run for president in like 2048 or something, then the Knicks would do it. The Knicks would do anything Jalen Brunson asked. I think Jalen Brunson could single-handedly get that Westchester practice facility somewhere closer to New York just because this is how much the guy means to the team. He means as much to the Knicks as anyone has basically in NBA history, maybe with the exception of Clyde and Patrick Ewing, and I think he's on the same level as Melo, which is just one peg below that. And I think that's because he wasn't drafted here. But outside of that, Jalen is the most important player to have played for the Knicks outside of Carmelo Anthony since Patrick Ewing. And him and Melo are neck and neck. And maybe it's recency bias because Melo was here for 3 years. Or Melo was here for 7 years and Brunson's been here for 2 years. But I don't know, guys. I think that Jalen Brunson is as important as anyone in history. The Knicks know if they're going to win a championship, it's through Brunson, and you just have to pay him whatever he wants. The man currently sits at 6th in MVP voting in an ESPN NBA straw poll with Jokic as the clear favorite, and Jokic will win MVP, despite the fact that I just said that Shea deserves it. Jokic is going to end up winning this one because he didn't win last year and he dragged that team to the finals. So, it's all fair. It's all fun and games. I don't know, guys. I'm still kind of dejected by this Julius Randle news, but this is massive for the New York Knicks. I cannot wait to watch Jalen Brunson well into my 30s and well into his 30s. Jalen, thank you for literally making the New York Knicks watchable. You've changed my life in so many ways. I love you, and I love the fans. Shout out you guys. Comment down below your thoughts on this. Should Brunson wait, get the bag that he so rightly deserves? Will he take the kind of a pay cut deal to just help the Knicks with flexibility and help them win a ring? Let me know what y'all think. Have a great day. Go Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle and the rest of the Knicks. And also me, because I just made this video.